Alex Thomas, welcome to World Sport, live from the World Cup, where we could be only minutes away from knowing the team that will play Germany in Sunday's final here at Rio's famous Maracanã Stadium. 24 hours on from Brazil's humiliating defeat, the Netherlands and Argentina are trying to book their spot in the final. You can take a look at the scene at Copacabana Beach's FIFA Fans Fest, and also the Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Fans watching, they don't look very excited, and I can show you why. It's because it's currently 0-0. What a difference in 24 hours. We had an 8-goal super game on Tuesday, although I guess Brazilians wouldn't call it that after their record defeat. The complete opposite here. Just one shot on target in the first half. These two teams may be put off by that Brazil defeat, just too nervous to play for a win. Now, the mood here has changed dramatically after Brazil's shocking and record-breaking 7-1 defeat to Germany in Belo Horizonte. And while many have been sympathetic about the crushing of the host dreams of glory on home soil, Argentina's legendary former player Maradona isn't one of them. Working as a pundit for Venezuelan TV, he said they did not just roll over them, they crushed them. Every time Germany passed halfway, it was half a goal. If they paused, it was just to tap the ball in. He also sung a song with the lyrics, "Brazil, tell me how it feels." So Maradona really relishing the discomfort of Argentina's neighbours. But despite the huge embarrassment, Brazil coach Luis Felipe Scolari used a news conference earlier on Wednesday to reiterate that he won't discuss his future until after Saturday's third-place playoff. He's already hinted that he wants to be given the chance to work with his young squad through to the 2018 World Cup in Russia.
Como explicar? Não vou justificar.
I can't explain it. I am not going to justify it. I do not think that my players will have difficulty in understanding that there was an error, a fatal error. We lost the match. We could have lost by 2 or by 1, but we lost in a way that we have never lost on a national level. It is historic. If I could respond with full knowledge of what happened in those 6 minutes, I would. But I really do not know.
Earlier I spoke to Joana Bueno, the editor of Brazilian sports paper Lance, and she told me she wasn't impressed with Scolari's answers.
He didn't talk about the future. He talked about the defeat. He was reassuring that it was just one defeat, when it was the worst defeat most people have ever seen. I mean, a worst defeat like that just in the 1990s or 1920s, since football became professional, was defeat in Brazilian history.
He was hinting after the Germany loss that he wants to be given the same time that Joachim Löw has been given with Germany. He wants to take this young Brazil squad to Russia 2018. Will he be given that time? Should he be given that time?
I don't think he's staying. I mean, usually in Brazil, people set the coach. This is the first thing that they do. And Scolari has had the chance before, and he's won a title before, and he's not been very active lately. I mean, before taking on the Brazilian team, he wasn't in a big team. He wasn't working very hard. So I think maybe his career should end like that right now.
Yesterday's man.
Yes, I do think. I think actually Brazil does not have a coach to take on the Brazilian team right now, because our coaches are very delayed, you know, our managers. So I think we should restructure this kind of our football, starting by the Brazilian national team.
But if there's no Brazilian to take over, would you turn to a foreign manager or just stick with Scolari because there's no other option?
I think the CBF will stick, well, they might sack Scolari, but they will stick with the Brazilian manager, even though I don't think we have the best managers, and maybe we could look around and choose someone from the other country, from another country. But I think that, you know, they still think that Brazilian has the best football, Brazil has the best football, we have 5 world titles, we don't need to look for someone from out of here.
Obviously a coach is only as good as their players, and I was wondering when I saw the players wearing the Neymar caps, whether they tried to use the emotion of their star player being out too much, and it all got too much for them. What do you think?
I think that's maybe the case. It's not the only reason, but I think that's one of the reasons. I mean, everyone was so emotional about Neymar, and everyone was like, oh, we're going to play for him, and that's it, and they should play for him, but they forgot to play. I mean, they just had a blank moment over there and 4 goals, and what are we going to do? And when they saw it was too late, so they didn't play at all, not even for Neymar.
So whoever the new coach might be, if they bring someone different in and Scolari goes, What about the players? Should there be a clear out of players too? Scolari keeps calling it a young squad, a squad that will get better. We heard Pereira saying that as well. Do you agree with that, or do you think they need to look again at what players are available?
No, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, some players are a bit too old right now, and in 2018 they will be even older. But and some players did do a really good World Cup. I mean, until the last match against Germany, some players were going well. Neymar is still too young. David Luiz is still too young. And there's so many players that are not as young, but they do so well in the international clubs, and they have been doing well in the World Cup. So I think they still have a future. Not all of them, but most of them.